So the Apple AirPods Pro 2 and the brand new Sony WF-1000XM5s both aim to be the absolute best earbuds on the market. And I think it's easy to say they're both among the top out there, but which one is actually the better pair? Which one deserves a spot in your ears? Well, in this video, I'm going to compare these two earbuds head to head, including an active noise cancellation test, a sound quality test, microphone test. Of course, I'll also compare the design and the features and everything else between these earbuds to figure out which one's actually the better buy. So let's start off with the active noise cancellation, probably the most exciting competition between these, but keep in mind ANC is not just which one's more powerful. There's a lot more to it. So I have a battery of 4 different tests that really, in my opinion, should represent which one's actually better at ANC. The first test is just my everyday white noise test. I play white noise at a set distance away, I turn the volume up while the earbuds are trying to block that out, and I see at what point I can hear that. Now, surprisingly, these are actually both tied at about 62 decibels, which means they're both leading the pack. They're tied in first place out of all the earbuds I tested. They're also tied with the Bose I might want to mention. So for droning sounds like engines and air conditioners and whatever, they're tied. And then test number 2 is the crowd test. So using the same method as test 1, I play the sound of a crowd, and with this you have a lot of different frequencies, different volumes, different chatter moving up and down. It's a lot tougher for earbuds to block this out. So it's blocking a substantially lower level here, but the Sony's actually pulled ahead by more than 1 decibel based on my testing. You're getting 48.6 decibels with the Sony's, while the AirPods are blocking 47.3. And part of that might be not just the ANC, but also the passive noise blocking that you're getting here with those foam ear tips. Now, moving on to test number 3, this is the female voice test. This one, females generally have higher pitched voices, obviously, so it's gonna be blocking out higher frequencies here, which is tougher, like I said, for earbuds to do. And again, the Sony's actually pulled ahead here. This is probably their biggest win, blocking 45.6 decibels, compared to 41.5 on the AirPods. So again, because of the foam tips and because of the ANC on here, the Sonys seem to do a better job with higher frequencies and more chatter and more sporadic sounds. Test number 4 is the wind test. Now, standing in front of like a fan blowing wind on my face, on my ears, I found that these both do a pretty comparable job in transparency mode. It really sounds a lot like what it would normally sound like when blowing on my ears. When you turn on active noise cancellation, again, they're both very similar. They're both very muted. It doesn't make any kind of really loud hissing sound or anything like that. So I think in this test, I would have to say they're pretty much tied. So overall, summarizing the active noise canceling between them, neither one has a lot of white noise, neither one has especially much hissing. They both are equally powerful if you're flying or on a train, but if you're trying to block out some more chatter, some more higher frequencies, the Sonys do a slightly better job there. And kind of the opposite of active noise canceling would be the transparency between these. Now, this one, I don't have a lot of tests for this, just general like listening and testing them out. I actually wore one earbud in either ear, and you can pretty much tell from that which one feels more natural. And for me, the AirPods still were better than the Sonys, although the Sony transparency mode is substantially better than years past. I was very impressed. But like I said, AirPods have always dominated the market here and just feel like there's really nothing in my ear. Moving on to the next category between these two, let's talk about the sound quality. This one, of course, on paper, you might say, well, Sony has LDAC, AirPods only have AAC and SBC. Those are like codecs, which means you get higher resolution audio on the Sonys, but that's just on paper, right? When you're actually using these, I listen to a whole variety of different music, a spectrum of songs. And one of the artists that I listened to where I really saw a difference between these was in some acoustic Billy String songs. Now, with this, there's a lot of detail in the guitars. There's a lot of really fast-moving guitars and upright bass. And Sony seemed to have a lot of detail and a lot of clarity on the guitar. Like you could really hear the pick hitting each string, a lot of the overtones with that. It made it feel natural and alive. And probably the biggest difference is in the upright bass. So it's a really deep, rich sound, and the Sonys did a good job of replicating that. It's richer and deeper compared to the AirPods. And kind of summarizing the sound here, Sony earbuds, the Sony XM5s are warmer, they're more powerful, they're a little bit more detailed in my opinion, and they're definitely a lot more lively. They also have an EQ in the app, which the AirPods do not have. So if you want more bass, if you want less bass, all of that is possible in the app. Now, that's not to say the AirPods are by any means bad. They're fantastic earbuds, and the AirPods are very neutral. They sound like the bass is a little bit shallower for sure, still a lot better than the older AirPods, but there's very little distortion, there's great instrument separation, there's really clean details and an emphasis on the upper mids, which gives you a little bit more perceived clarity. They're not nearly as energetic and lively as the Sony buds, but both of them are really fantastic as far as wireless earbuds go. Now, the next category we could talk about would be the design. And as far as the cases go, I think this is a win for the AirPods from a feature standpoint, as well as from the size and just design in general. So the AirPods case is smaller in pretty much every dimension, the width, the depth of it, right? It's a smaller case. It also has a lanyard on the side, so you can hook it to whatever you want, a backpack. And of course, on the bottom here, we have a speaker. I'll talk more about the speaker in a minute, but the AirPods case, although it only comes in one color, is pretty much a standard in the industry as a solid case. And I also forgot to mention, on the back, it has MagSafe. So these both charge wirelessly, but the AirPods can charge like vertically or just slap them on any MagSafe stand, and it's nice you could do that. The earbuds themselves have some more differences between them. Sony has two different colors. So they have this kind of whitish cream color, and then of course they have a darker black color as well, and so that gives you more versatility. The aesthetic of them, you can comment below and let me know which one you like better. Do you like the iconic AirPod stem, or do you like the compact and more spherical design of the Sony earbuds? Like, leave a comment and let me know what you think. Either way, you can't go wrong with either one of them. The controls are also very different. The AirPods have pinch controls and the Sonys have tap controls. They're both great. The tap controls are a little easier when you're sitting still, but when you're outside, if your hands are sweaty, sometimes pinch controls are a little bit more reliable. Or, for example, if you're wearing gloves, that could be better there. The AirPods also have swipe for volume, which is really convenient, whereas Sony has quadruple tap for volume. I think swipe is probably the more intuitive and easier one out of the two of those. As far as features go, we have a lot that's in common with these. They both, like I said, have wireless charging. They both have 360 audio. They both have mono mode, auto play, auto pause, and they're both IPX4 water resistant. But there are a lot of differences here. The AirPods have Find My, and that's a big win here. They have AirTag-like precision locating features, so finding this is way easier, and the speaker, like I said, also helps you find it. Apple also has their seamless switching within the Apple ecosystem, of course, and they have audio sharing. This is a big one, audio sharing on the iPhone. So if you and a friend both have AirPods, you can both connect to your iPhone at the same time. Now, if you're using the Sony earbuds, or actually any earbuds, you can already do that on Samsung, and they're not exclusive with brand, but again, if you're using Apple, if you have an iPhone, it's worth noting. Sony, on the other hand, has a low latency mode for gaming. They have better battery life. You're getting 8 hours in the earbuds and 24 hours when you include the case, and that is with ANC on. You're also getting 60 minutes of listening out of a 3-minute charge with the Sony earbuds. You're getting true multi-point connectivity, so you can connect to any two devices, not just two Apple devices, but your iPhone and your Windows laptop definitely can do that. They have ambient sound control. I never use this, but you can like walk around and Sony like knows when you're moving and it changes settings. Personally, I disabled that. We also have speak to chat. So if your music's playing and you just start talking to somebody, it'll turn your volume down and turn transparency on. Like, it's a cool feature. And last but not least, we do have quick listen on here. So if you tap and hold, I believe, the left earbud for 2 seconds, it'll let you hear everything around you so you can hear the next stop on your bus or train. All right, so this is a microphone test with the Sony WF-1000XM5. So we're testing these indoors, and we'll see how these sound. And now this is a microphone test with the Apple AirPods Pro 2. We're testing inside in a studio environment, so we'll see how these sound. All right, so here is an audio test with the AirPods Pro standing outside near a busy road. There's not a lot of wind right now, but we'll compare these to the Sonys. Now, this is what the Sonys sound like. Again, I wasn't really impressed with the microphones in my original review. They're definitely passable, but in a noisier environment, let me know what you think. All right, so in conclusion, this was a really tough one. The design, I think, AirPods kind of pull ahead, especially with the case. I like the aesthetic of the Sony earbuds better, but the AirPods have a better microphone. The Sonys have better active noise canceling and especially passive noise canceling, in my opinion, and they also have better sound quality, but the AirPods have some ecosystem advantages like audio sharing, seamless switching, and Find My for superior locating of your earbuds. They also still have powerful ANC and a pretty nice neutral sound. But with that said, Sony's 1000X Mark V's, in my opinion, are the clear winner here. They sound better, the ANC is better, they have better features, and for me, they have a more secure fit in my ears. But they are a little bit more expensive. It's $299 versus $249. For me, I would go with the Sonys, but leave a comment and let me know which of these two you like better. You really can't go wrong with either one of them, and they're fantastic earbuds that I'm super impressed with. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing. I'm Mike O'Brien, and I'll see you in the next one.